There it is. John's got a Pellegrino. I got a little sippy. Mike's, I don't even know what that is, a water bottle.
Negligee.
You never know what's inside of that one, but
Secret
welcome.
sauce.
We do know what the show is. We know it's talking tokens with simple cryptocurrency.
On a Tuesday.
Don't forget on a Tuesday.
Tacos, too.
Thank you for joining us. My name is Adam. John, Simple Crypto John in the middle, and Mike in the far right in the nice Bear Grylls sweatshirt. Red.
Red's lucky color.
Yeah. This is a nice.
We're
Tuesday.
not seeing red.
We're
going the opposite.
Red. This is a nice Tuesday to be
10X.
looking and being inside of the cryptocurrency world, because Bitcoin is clocking in. Let me roll the banner here. Blink. At the point of this show, starting $64,009.
That's a nice number.
The last time we rolled the show 2 weeks ago, we were at 51,000. So almost $13,000 pop up, and we are just underneath of the biggest milestone really for Bitcoin right now is the new or the previous all-time high, which is at 64,900, depending on the exchange that you're looking at, somewhere in that range. So we are really testing
64.8.
Yeah, testing the water on the top end of Bitcoin. This week was the first week it ever closed a weekly close above 60,000. So it's already broken kind of a new record if you want to look at just the candles in wicks from that sense. So
right, trend wise.
Yeah, I mean 64,000. We are not. The Bears didn't win. We're not at a $10,000 Bitcoin. Now, what does it do from here is really exciting. I think a lot of people think once it breaks the all-time high, it's going to be this mad dash for the end of the year, the end of the bull cycle, which, historically, if you're just looking at once you break the all-time high, it usually doesn't look back, at least for that end of that bull cycle, and it's up and about till, I guess people are trending like 100,000 to 150,000.
130,
it's
150.
going to be a blow off top. So that's
right.
Awesome.
I think we're still on track with the stock to flow chart, which is good.
I mean, you got to think about what you're going to do if you see those kind of numbers. You're going to make some moves, take some profits. You're just going to hodl out and let it ride. I think there's maybe a little bit of both that probably is what I would recommend, or at least what I'm doing with my portfolio. No financial advance. This is for entertainment only, or no financial advice.
I was going to say, you getting advances already? Come on, man. How much money you got?
Yeah. No financial advice.
Make your own decisions. Kind of look at your risk and look at your portfolio and where you want to go, make the best plan and attack.
But I guess we can go ahead and just pull up the chart so we can look at something while we're talking about this.
Yeah, let's take a look, because it's been just stair stepping all the way up on the 4 hour.
Let me go share screen.
It's been a while since we've seen these numbers. It's like back in what was it, March or April?
May. Yeah, May, April. Yeah.
We just thought it'd keep going up.
Yeah, I mean, I literally like pretty much February-ish, like right before the Tesla first buy. That's when it kind of all kicked off from 39 and up, and then now we're pretty much cup and handled, or back to that all-time high, which it could then drop again, and then just will blast back off.
Right. So let's kind of take a step back in the history here. When did we start? We started the show basically right here, right? And somewhere in April, we went through this.
The fall.
This is when we started our first crypto draft.
Yep.
Right before this, and then we were like, "Wow, we just make a long." So we went. We started the show right after the mega top, the first all-time high, which is this red line.
Yeah.
And then, we've gone through this dip. We kind of held the yellow brick road line that we were looking at, that trend.
What a wild ride.
And it's been growing.
It's been
China FUD.
Yep.
And
all sorts of FUD.
So we could have been back to the all-time high probably much quicker if China FUD stuff didn't happened. But anything, it just shows more resilience. It got some stuff out of the way, some retest, and look at it.
Right.
I mean, we're there. We're ready to rock and roll. There's clear skies above. I got 100,000 marked on my screen here, just as my little marker to say, look, we've already done. I guess logarithmically, we've already done the same move from that point to this point is like less than from here to here in a log scale, which means like proportionately, it's like the same kind of move.
Yeah.
Just in proportions from like basically 2xing and then you're going to 2x again. And
doesn't seem that out of ordinary that it couldn't happen.
Right.
So the big question: when's it hitting 100K?
Well, I mean, all NS that I follow think like could be. It's within this period of time right here. It's like it's this moment here. Let me put a better color on that.
So within 2021 is what you're saying.
I've heard. I mean, yes. It's like whether it goes to 140 and then just pops off, or whether it's like, it's basically November, December is like the target that most of these people are saying that Bitcoin's probably going to peak. And then the altcoin market follows Bitcoin like after. So Bitcoin will kind of get to its top and maybe kind of fuck around for a little bit and then come down. But then the altcoins are going to pump maybe until like January, February, March. And that's when you're just going to see some crazy, like, some crazy money going there. And then eventually it's going to come back to earth. But
come back to earth.
Yeah. I mean,
I would say early first quarter. I mean, that's probably, we'll see that 100K mark, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. So here's something to think about. So I know historically people have always said altcoins do their thing after Bitcoin does their big rally, right? Yep. So I think at some point that cycle is going to break. Like at some point, these alts are kind of have their own trends, have their own movement. And, we started to see a little bit of that with Ethereum, back in, what is it, like May, April-ish, I think.
Yeah, like it was kind of driving versus Bitcoin.
Yep. Yeah. So I think we're going to start to see more alts kind of breaking out, not following any kind of trend. I think we're going to see more and more. I'm not saying this time it's going to be, the thing where it breaks a cycle, but we're going to start to see that more and more. So it'll be interesting.
Kind of more divergence. I mean, it seems like Bitcoin kind of has broke from this, just the U.S. Stock market, which is good. It was kind of like each one was correlated, but now it's doing its own thing. Maybe alts will do their own thing, and then, just play the trends of each.
I think it's just going to be this. I mean, we obviously, some of the news in the industry, the first futures EFT was approved on Tuesday or activated today. It was approved yesterday and activated today. Right. So it's a futures EFT. So it's not, legit. I guess it's a taste for investors to get in and start using their 401k money or traditional IRA monies that didn't want to actually hold crypto, but they want to get the value out of the crypto market. So it's a way to get them to kind of taste it. Mike, you had a link here for Grayscale. Are filing
they just
to convert GBTC into an ETF. So go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, they just filed their 19B form, which I guess is with the SEC, to then turn the trust into a Bitcoin spot trading EFT. I think the ticker will be BTC, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
And with it, they're just kind of piggybacking off this other one. They're like, oh, if you're doing a futures, then there's no reason you shouldn't do spot, because that's kind of like you think you would do it the other way around, like you would do the spot first and then maybe
a derivative first before the actual.
Right, which, because for most retail investors, derivatives, people don't know what that is. They don't know how to, I guess, do that stuff. But this still, as you said, gives them opportunity to have exposure to BTC with their 401k money or money that they normally
let me watch this
be able to use.
Let me see if we can watch
this. They said there's nothing you need. There's nothing you need to do with your current shares.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold it. Hold it.
Because the spot ETFs we know are backed by real BTC, and then the futures are just the contracts that people agree on, price wise, and they have an expiration date, and someone's making money, someone's losing money, more or less.
Yeah. Are we trying to watch this video here, or is that what's going on?
Well, I was trying to, but I can't.
Does it not show on the screen?
I don't think it plays the audio. Can you do
No,
like?
I have it on my Mac, but I need to. If I play the audio on my Mac, I'm going to hear this audio
While you're talking.
So I need to play it on this machine so that I don't have to hear it through this thing. So let me I need to transfer, but I can't find the freaking window. So just give me a moment.
Okay.
All right. Well, so
why don't we just look at what the next article is? We can kind of roll back to that.
Well, I can just say, so the Pro shares that launched today, the ticker BITO, they did over 1 billion in trading today, which is, I think within the first couple hours, it already did like 25 million, and then that was like once it set some record. So I mean, there's a lot of people that have been engaged with it.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
awesome.
1 billion in trading in a day. It's like, wow, okay.
And
it was already it's up 5%.
So these ETFs are cool though, because if it's a real ETF that requires whoever's creating the ETF to hold Bitcoin for those trades. So like they're just not really, you're not really exchanging the Bitcoin, but they have to hold it as a reserve. So if these huge
driving up the price,
huge Bitcoins ETFs get created. So the BGTC one, they already own Bitcoin. I guess they could make it bigger.
Right. They could add to it.
Really
Grayscale
drive demand and interest and stuff for Bitcoin. But if
I think Grayscale probably already has it also.
That's what I'm saying. So like they're not going to have to go buy it, but they'll have to hold it. So like not that they were going to sell it before, but at least now they're really not going to sell it because they have to hold it for that ETF.
Right.
If there's other ETFs being created or other,
which there are.
Yeah. So then those people have to accumulate and hold, which is just creates more stability in the markets and all the prices. And
right. Yeah.
That. So yeah, let me see if I can do. So let me do share screen.
When someone buys a Bitcoin ETF, Grayscale has to actually hold the Bitcoin. I'm kind of curious if they'll publicize what wallet it's in, and that way you can go and verify it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's public knowledge of how much they already have. They have to have it out there. Gotcha. I'm not sure what wallet, maybe the address, but
all right, let's see if
so you could follow all their.
Let's see if this
works. Exactly. That'll be cool. Is that typing noise part of the video?
I'm really excited to share that Grayscale has kicked off the process working with our exchange partner, New York Stock Exchange, to convert GBTC into an ETF. This is an incredible milestone for our team. We've been working tirelessly over the past few years to ensure that investors have the ETF that they want. Earlier this year, we started working with Bank of New York Mellon to ensure the operational readiness for an ETF. And now working with the NYSE, we can formally kick off the review process to ensure that GBTC converts to an ETF. From where we sit, we've never seen greater maturity within the digital asset ecosystem. And we're confident that this is the next step in the journey of GBTC's lifecycle.
Pretty dope.
Sweet. Apparently they have
I thought that video would be more informative.
But
more like a press release.
Yeah. 654,000 BTC owned.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big milestone. It's getting serious here.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just going to kind of solidify where we are, so at least, I mean, maybe a range, it's like maybe it won't go under this number now. Maybe you could kind of confidently say that.
So Mike Sage says, y'all rich yet? We getting there, baby. We getting there.
Hey,
time.
It's growing. Just stack them sats, baby. Them sats, that you had from months ago are now double and triple. So.
I mean, we're definitely hitting our, at least personally for me and Mike, I know we both hit our all-time portfolio highs. So
nice.
Yes, I guess maybe not. I wouldn't consider it necessarily rich,
We try to
all
get
things
wealthy.
considered, but
We're not trying to be
getting
rich.
We're not trying to be
So
rich.
we want to pass on our generational wealth to our kids. Like rich is like I can go to the mall and buy like whatever I want. It's like, all right, but no, yeah. I mean,
we made some smart moves. Now we got to prepare ourselves. What's your next move? How are you going to prepare for the bull cycle? You know the bear market is coming eventually. Like this is going to be hype. This is going to be crazy. Next 2 months, we're all going to be so euphoric.
The fear and greed is going to be at the top. Sell the news.
Making the right decisions for yourself and your portfolio, and maybe make some smart moves along the way. But hopefully it's just pretty much like you can't. No matter what you buy at this moment, if you hold any of the coins, I think you're going to be probably green from now to December, like all in. It's just where do you stop, and where do you stop yourself from being greedy? And
I mean, we talked about that before, like the 100K being like mental resistance. Something. There's going to be these levels on the way up, so you have to be prepared just to see where the fib lines land, and overall make a plan. Like you said, make a plan, stick to it. Right now, we're looking at extreme greed, 82 on the chart. So we're getting greedy.
I think it'll be fun to make an episode on just different strategies, right? I mean, like kind of what to do when it rallies. Some people kind of have a slightly more active strategy where every time it rallies, you pull a certain percentage out. So you have that cash to kind of hold on to, but if it keeps going up, you just let whatever is still in there go up. And, if it goes down, you kind of write it down, but you've cashed out slightly and you can rebuy at the dip, right?
Right.
Or some people just straight up ride the whole thing. They just invest in it, just don't look at it, just ride the wave.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, as you said, maybe, exchanging some funds to a stable coin and then allowing those to sit in a BlockFi interest account, which maybe is making 8%. So you were making 4% before on BTC. Now you're locked in your gains in USDC, Gemini coin, or whatever you'd like. And then now you're making double in interest on those. And then until you then buy back in on a dip, right? So that's one strategy.
So Mike and I were, we were looking at the rainbow chart earlier, and obviously we're right here at this moment, somewhere in the, is it a bubble?
Is it a bubble?
And if you just look back, like historically, the last peak right here, 19,000 in 2017. But if you look from like peak to peak, this is 14, this is 17. There was kind of a small, bull market here, didn't really do much. I guess we're sitting right here. We're at the top, or the first double top of what people are projecting this, like the 2017, where there was a double blow off top. And they think we're basically sitting right here on the blow off top, on the double blow off top. But anyway, I guess my point of this was like, if you're looking at the distance from peak to peak, it's like 4 years. And then you're at another 4 years. So every halving, there's like a bull market peak. So just because we kind of gotten in, at least personally, I got into the crypto like this year, I haven't experienced like at some point, Bitcoin's not going to just be making these massive gains. It's going to be like chilling for a little while. And that's going to be a weird experience, I think, just for me personally, because I've only seen like just craziness.
Number go up technology.
Like super volatile, but usually in the right direction. So we'll see for a while. I mean, if we get to this red somewhere between December, which is like right here. I mean, look at it. If we're at red on this chart,
it's 83,000.
December, that's 168. If it goes up above this, like it did in 2017, it could go to three. Some people are saying 300,000
off the chart.
But then it's kind of quickly. I mean, you can see it drops off quick. So we might be right back down to, by the time we get to the second halving or this next halving in 2024, like it's possible we go up and peak here at like mid to early 2022. Say the peak happens here, and then it's gonna kind of fuck around and work its way back down. So I don't think we'll see 38 again. That would be pretty surprising. But I mean, could we see 50, 60 again? I think that's in the cards, like after this cycle. But then from there, you're never gonna, we'll never see 28 again. So like that was locked in right around here.
Or like the COVID like drop off like back a year ago. If you got in then, I mean it was $5,000.
Yeah, right here. So like that's never gonna.
You could buy you could buy like or it's just gonna be down here and it'll say it's like 30,000 or 20,000 or 40 or it's gonna stay a little green.
These cycles might actually accelerate because I remember how I mentioned earlier, like we used to look at past cycles, and we might be seeing a window now where we may not follow the past cycles just because we have so many people coming into the market.
Yeah,
and just everything
it's like the dynamics of the market are different. Yeah. I mean,
like literally every variable we're looking at has changed since like a few years ago. So like,
but with that said though, what hasn't changed is the 4-year halving cycle, and the halving of the coin is
like what sparks it.
That's what's driving a lot of this. Is like after the halving, it's that much more. It's half as accessible, and it just drives.
So the halving is going to be a big deal, but I think what's happening now is we have so many retail people coming in. I think that's a big deal as well. Like maybe as important as like an actual halving, Yeah,
I mean it's just catching on. We have the accelerated use, even more so than like the internet, which is crazy. So if we just start getting to like billions of users, I mean that alone will just have a percentage growth, and it's gonna lead to higher number monies.
So I guess maybe we can hop back into one or two other coins. I mean, as far as like altcoins right now, they haven't moved. I mean, there's maybe one or two coins that have done something, but like aside from Ethereum broke out of this, at least what I was tracking, as a symmetrical triangle kind of from, I guess you could pull it back to maybe the start here, but it's been like a month-long triangle that I was looking at, potentially breaking out. Here's like its all-time high or close to it. I think it was like
4,400.
Yeah, let's back out a little bit there. Yep. So right there. So 40. Wait, was that it? Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah. But it has this resistance here. So, I mean, it's like once it gets over 4,000, I mean, again, I think it's just going to.
So most analysts are saying ETH is going to outperform Bitcoin in gains, like in just performance, because it has, it's just that much more affordable and available and all that stuff. So if Bitcoin 2x's from here, 120, Ethereum
could like 5 times,
8x.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like $10,000 to $20,000 Ethereum by the end of this bull market. Like that's insane.
Yeah, I believe it.
Mike said you want to talk about rich. That's when we get a little rich. I ain't wealthy.
Well,
yet,
I mean that was kind of like Tito Malone's like strategy. Remember, he's holding like multiple ETH, like up to like I don't want to blow a spot, but he's got them. But I mean, and if each one of those is going up, then he's kind of shifting it back into BTC or something. But he's making his moves, which ride the altcoin wave, pull out your profits, dump it into the dominant Bitcoin maybe, and then just keep doing that.
Is that a question or a comment? And heat in my house. So Mike, you're mining ETH. Okay, that's cool. He said
nice.
House, right? That's the right kind of strategy right now.
Yeah,
Nice.
There you go. I'm getting a little heat kickback. Yeah. Just open up the door downstairs and let the heat roll on out and just turn off.
Mike, you should post your setup on the board and start up a little show your rig.
Combo. Yeah. Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, actually in my miners in my garage, I was like, it's still kind of getting hot during the day, so I haven't fully set it up to like heat my garage mode, but I'm thinking about just disconnecting the exhaust and just pumping it into the house.
Nice.
Or into the garage. But I want to wait till it's like really cold all day, because if it's 75 out, you don't want to.
I think next week it's going to go to 60s, so it'll probably
sometime in November I'll probably switch it over. We'll just be starting to like getting nice and toasty in my garage.
It'll be the warmest room in the house.
Well, and that's like all the people that are concerned about Bitcoin and its like footprint. I mean, they're already talking about using like the excess natural gas from producing oil, and then they're going to use that to then mine Bitcoin.
That was in the little documentary for Swan Bitcoin, where they have these basically a little natural gas generator, just plop it on they're burning natural gas out of the natural gas mines, and it just flares off. It's a flare stack. All it is just maintaining like the vent and burning it. So they take that natural gas, run it through a natural gas generator, produce power, and then they just have like 20 kW of miners sitting next to it, and it's just running.
Making Bitcoin. Yeah. Free energy, the best way.
Here's a good one. If the wife says she's cold, it's permission to buy more 3080s.
Nice.
I'd consider that permission. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Just don't get trapped in your room that way, because someone like died almost or got permanent brain damage from just overheating.
What?
Yeah. They got like hyperthermia, which is the heat, like he was inside of his room and then it had a heat wave, and then his room was like at 110 degrees and he like sweat out all his like water, but his body retained all the salt, and then he had like permanent brain damage from being in a room that was way too hot.
Like, this is a hot room, I should probably get out of the room.
Well, yeah, I think he like fell asleep. He was like sleeping in the room, and then he became disoriented because it was like a heat wave, and then he had so many miners running from Bitcoin.
Oh, he had miners in his house?
Yeah, he had. That was the whole point. He was mining Bitcoin during a heat wave, and then his room got to like, I think his body temperature was like 106 or something. But so don't let it take you out.
That sounds like pretty. He probably was on drugs too. Let's be honest.
Could be. But
oh, that's funny. Look at that.
I'm just saying, be safe out there, anybody.
At least he's rich.
There you go.
He could pay
rich in memories.
He could pay for his medical bills. That's funny. I
mean, Bitcoin hash rate
about the guy. He has brain damage. That's
right. Yeah.
A terrible story.
Yeah. If you can believe stories that you see on YouTube.
I mean, it sounds like there's something else going on. Like, why would you just continue to like sweat your balls off in the house? But
it's probably a fluke thing. Hey. I mean, even if you were asleep, like your body wouldn't actually wake yourself up.
I know. You wake up, you're like, oh, I'm so fucking hot. I gotta get like.
Yeah, but maybe I think that's what happened, but it was just too late by then. And he was just like crippled.
I don't know about that. His body's got some problems.
All right. Well, Bitcoin hash rate, we're down 10% in the last 24 hours to 139 exahash, and USA, we have claimed the mining first place percentage. We have about 35% of the Bitcoin hash rate now, and the China mining rate has effectively dropped to zero after the ban,
which is
good.
Really good news. We diversified. Right. That was one of the big
We've diverged from them.
China owns Bitcoin, or doesn't own it, but they have too much hands in the Bitcoin hash rate and mining power. Now it's diversified. We've been talking about that, so very cool. USA is now the leading hash, and it makes a lot of sense because everyone's been just flowing into Texas, and we've talked about these power plants that are getting built. Specifically,
all the miners getting shipped here,
getting taken over from the miners, and we did hear. I did see that Bitmain. I think we talked about it maybe last time. I can't remember, but Bitmain is not selling to any of their Chinese customers anymore. So they're distributing all the miners to their worldwide market first, which is cool. So kind of on the lookout for maybe some faster shipments, although the deliveries and stuff we know right now in America, the ports are all fucked up. So thanks.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yep. fucking guy. He said, how do they know China is still not mining? Well, I mean,
I think all the pools are now like
see it on
down.
The blockchain, or you can see it in the pools, like what pool. So there's pools that are centralized. I think there probably is there people in China still mining. I mean, yeah, people do.
Could be. They're just saying effectively, yeah.
But China is very different as compared to America because of they like lock.
Right. They do have the social credit. They'll be like, oh, you're still mining it? Oh, we'll turn off your power. Like, we'll come get your grandma, and like we know where she eats.
Well,
Like, we'll go
like
get her.
control. There is an
She's like,
internet.
"Oh,
like, there's a gateway to the internet that's like
Right.
controlled by them, so they could just
Right.
block every pool ISP.
Yeah.
So maybe you could do it through like
Nice.
Starlink. You
I
could
thought
mine
as long as
through
you use
Starlink.
a VPN, you
You
can
could probably get around it. I'm sure there's people.
I mean,
I was told as long as you use a VPN, you can get on YouTube, you can use Facebook, all that stuff. It's as if you're connected to like the Netherlands or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
well,
yeah,
you'd have to VPN to a machine that's outside of China, I would think. Like, because what I'm saying is, like, imagine being on a local network. Like, your network is your house. All your internet goes through your gateway, your network router.
Right.
China
You can
has like
control
a
what it
router
sees.
that's like all the internet
Their
connections
main network. Right.
go through this router, and I will control what comes in and
Everything.
out of it, which is different than just like in America. I guess we have that same thing, but it's not controlled. So
Well, your ISP
Anyway.
would have that.
yeah, Mike said I've been to here. I'll put him up here. I've been to China. John is right.
Nice.
VPN for the win. So
Nice.
I guess
Well, Adam makes a good point that it still goes through like a network that's physically in China, though. So
I think they will allow VPN traffic to Norway. What they show you on a computer that's in Norway through a screen, they can't tell what's coming through the screen. So like
Right.
if your
Yeah.
remote desktop
the
is
data's
a
right
miner
out
in
there.
Norway, you can mine or whatever you want to do. You can see UPN, But I think if you had a physical machine in China, it would be fucked. It couldn't communicate.
Or they would at least see you, and then they would try to either shut you down or come get you. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like hacker ways around shit. I mean, there's probably definitely ways that people do things, but
I mean,
I guess we know that China's not mining because we can see where the miners are plugging into on the various pools, and various pools aren't getting the traffic from China. They're getting the traffic. They're now in all that hash power is getting on the blockchain from America or from Russia or from
right. Well, Russia
Salvador,
is up in the third place spot at 11%. They're up from 6.8, and then I think it's Kazakhstan or one of those countries over there that's the stands. Right, they're up from like 8.2 to like 18%.
God damn.
Yeah, they jumped.
Kazakhstan.
Yep.
Very nice.
And we jump. Yeah, very nice. And then we jumped from 16 to 35. So yeah, I mean that's just nice that people that we think we're a free country
like Iran,
here.
I think like Iraq, or I guess it was Iran.
Oh yeah, maybe
Iraq.
that's what it was. Iran. I didn't write down the name.
Yeah,
here, so.
Iran was another one where they're now in their winter season where power isn't like critical anymore.
Right. So then now they can do that and generate heat.
It.
Right.
So
I don't see why you wouldn't. But
all right, so here's another article, Mike, you had thrown over.
yeah, Valkyrie. They are a risk asset, alternate asset management firm, and it's just cool because they're getting an ETF on track to launch this week apparently, and they set the ticker to BTFD. So I think we all kind of know what that means, by the F and dip. So
I didn't know that, but I like it.
yeah. So that's just cool. It's just like, all right, this has kind of become like a saying for people in crypto, and now they're, I guess capitalizing on that. But just more things to come for good exposure to the markets, to these different ETFs.
Sweet.
Which have we talked more about like MicroStrategies and like those kind of companies? I mean, GBTC. You can get exposure to Bitcoin MicroStrategies because they pretty much have a ratio of like 90% or more of Bitcoin holdings. So that's just like a different way to, like, per share, you can break it down from how many they own and how many shares there are. And then you can use that to bring in some gains, I guess.
You can kind of calculate, in theory, how much Bitcoin you are exposed to
Each
based on the shares that you own.
based on the share.
Because they own it as an asset. It's like kind of like an ETF. it's kind of like custodial, but obviously not your keys, not your crypto. But it's a good way to get your IRA or 401k and kind of look at it. How much am I?
Yeah, I
investing
mean,
into this
you're
company?
gonna reap the benefits and the gains of that asset through purchasing, their stocks.
Right. So MicroStrategy's at 727 right now. At the peak of the Bitcoininess earlier this year, it was at 1,000, I think. Let me go back here.
I think it went to like 1,400 maybe.
Let me zoom out a little bit more. Yep. So like Bitcoin highs, at least earlier in February, I guess when they announced that they were buying all this Bitcoin, things were going up, is at 1,300. I did look at back at all time, Mike. I don't know if you saw this or if you looked at it, but it was like MicroStrategy's all-time high is like 5,000 or something. Oh no,
Wow.
3,000.
So I wonder what happened there.
You bought in and it's like, boo. I guess it was the dot-com bubble.
Oh, okay. Was that 2008?
No, the dot-com bubble was like 2001.
Oh, not
right?
the housing market.
Yeah, the housing market bubble was 8 right here. This was like the dot-com bubble. So
okay.
they were like, yeah, we're in, we're out. $4.
Damn.
Went to $4.
Going crazy ever since. So
well, and yeah, I mean he's changed his tune. I mean he knows what BTC can do. So
What
I
is
sent
that?
you a picture real quick. I don't know if you want to put that up in the chat.
Real quick, do you know what MicroStrategies does?
yeah, they're like
They're like investment, right?
Are they
I
like
think
No.
they do like
software
optimization
Software.
for companies. Yeah.
they write software?
I think they prepare like proprietary software for whatever you want them to do.
Interesting.
And they're located in Tyson's Corner
They are.
headquarters.
Let me see. Share screen. I'm trying to share that thing, Mike, real quick.
Okay. Yeah, it's just cool to see like the proxies.
Share.
So right
entire
now,
screen. And then
if
I'm
you
gonna share
have-
signal. There you go. You should see it.
Yep.
What is this? So these are all the stocks that you can buy that have Bitcoin as an asset, right? This is what
Yes.
this is showing. Yeah.
Yes. So then it shows, GBTC at a ratio of 121%. You effectively get about 900,000 Satoshis per share owned. So if you want to have one whole coin, you need about 1,057 shares. Right under that, MicroStrategy's coming in at a little over 1 million Satoshis per share. And you only need about 85 of those to be a whole coiner through the proxy. So, I mean, doesn't seem, unreasonable. And I've actually used this to, purchase with some of my 401k. And I've seen, good returns in just in this last week. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I'm hitting a new all-time high in that also through Bitcoin.
So are they offering a way to, I guess, invest in it? Is that what they're doing?
Well, I mean, you just buy it on the stock market just like anything else. These are all public traded companies.
Right. So like Cyberpunk Holdings, look at their ticker, HODL. So, I mean, they're pretty much just, they're just hodling Bitcoin to allow you to then purchase these shares and then, effectively own some through that. And then further down, you can see Marathon Digital Holdings, because there's also miners. You can become a whole coiner through miners also.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk Holdings. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm looking at. I mean, and it's like, they only have 386 Bitcoin. But
well, I'm assuming they have Cyberpunks NFTs too. So
could be.
Why would
share
they
price 21 cents?
Why would they name it that way if it wasn't that?
I mean, that kind of gives you an insight to who they are. So, I mean, 92% ratio But maybe that's an up and comer, you know.
All right, let me get back to our other thing here. Let's see, window. There we go. So just side note, Dogecoin had a node upgrade recently. I think it happened in like September, or maybe it happened a while ago. Let me see. What's the date on this thing? Down at the bottom. It doesn't say the date when it was last edited. But anyway, they had an upgrade where the node is now supposed to make transactions cheaper. I think you might have seen Elon tweet about it. He's like, go to 1.14, run the node. If everyone runs the node, I guess it's going to speed up transactions, make it cheaper, yada, yada, yada. But I'm now
How much faster or cheaper can it be?
Well, I guess, I mean, here's like these facts right here. I think this is updated. There's only like 455 full Dogecoin nodes globally compared to a Bitcoin of 9,000 nodes. So like 450 nodes. That's like, that's not a
right.
lot.
I guess so.
Really
That's
that
the
much.
reason. That's the limitation, is that not the algorithm.
Yeah. So if you had,
because I mean, it's based off Litecoin. So
right. So if you had 3x
more people running
nodes, it's
right.
that many more people processing the transactions, and things are just hitting, you know, that many more microseconds faster. So I guess that's the theory. But I mean, they went from, I mean, that was just interesting. There's only 455 people running. I'm thinking the Dogecoin network is like this insanely robust, like infinitely computered thing, but there's only like,
I mean, think of BTC, it's only 9,000. I mean,
well, I mean, even that seems like
out of 8
low.
billion people, right?
Right. So it's like,
but as long as one of those stays alive, one dude's running the node in his closet, Bitcoin survives.
Right. So then, basically, right here it says like there, you know, the 1.14.3, it went from like 12% to 60%. So it just made this like massive uptick. I think Elon just giving it press. Anyway, I'm currently trying to run the node on my MacBook. So I guess I'll let you know how that goes. It's like a 57 gigabyte download to
I mean, you have to download the whole ledger. Yeah.
And download the entire basically the entire Bitcoin history. And
Dogecoin history.
I'm sorry, Doge history. So we'll see how that, you know, I had to clear out, like I had a whole bunch of pictures. I'm like, don't need these pictures no more. Don't need.
Yeah, I mean, 60. You just almost need like a separate little hard drive to run it.
Yeah, like see right now it's saying Dogecoin, it's syncing. It's basically just downloading, like, I guess all the what it's calling headers, which I think is every single transaction. You see it's up to 2014 in transaction time. And it's 11%. It's 11% done, and I started about 30 minutes ago, so I guess it's not taking that long. They said it could take a couple days to synchronize, and then from that point, it's going to just participate in the network, and doesn't necessarily give you any gains or any value, but you are participating in, you know, solidifying the robustness of the network. So, figured I'd do my little part.
Pretty wild. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I can download the entire transaction history.
Yeah, and that little like Doge program, I was looking at it. You can search transaction dates. Like it's kind of like a
Explorer.
Yeah, Explorer almost in a sense.
Well, I mean, that's the good thing about Bitcoin is that it's small enough. People are like, oh, well, we need to make the block sizes bigger, but I mean that means more data. So then, like BTC, or Bitcoin Cash, they go up to like 10 megabytes per block rather than 2. So then it just makes it bigger and bigger, where it's like regular people wouldn't be able to store that much transaction history. So that's part of it being decentralized.
It said there was a way, I was reading this, like you can do this. It's called I can't even think of the word now, but it was basically a truncated version of the block or.
Right. Yeah.
So it's 5 gigabytes.
It's like zipped. It's like zipped. It's like a zip file.
So you can get this like truncated version, but then it limits what your node can do. So like your node can talk to people and like validate transactions, but then you can't. I don't know. You can't like write block. I don't know what it was. It was like a limited version of what the node was actually doing, the truncated version. So
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mike Sage had a question here. I bought coin. I'm assuming you mean Coinbase.
Coinbase, yeah.
Coin, because if you bought a coin, congratulations.
No, it's,
Yeah,
coin is the ticker. Coin is the
Coin,
ticker, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even talk about it yet, but Coinbase just released that they're going to be an NFT marketplace. They sent
Right.
out.
They're actually they're partnering with the NBA and WNBA also
as an
for NFT.
official
Yep.
partner.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, so they sent out that we're going to be NFT marketplace. It immediately had like 600,000 or maybe 6 million or some ridiculous number of people joining the waitlist, which was like 3 times bigger than the users on OpenSea, which is like currently the biggest NFT marketplace.
Right. So it just like blows that out of the
reach that
water.
they're going to have if you can just take your Coinbase wallet and start accessing NFTs. So crazy news. Obviously, that's going to bring coin. Coin is going to go. I don't think you can lose on any of those. Right now, coin is like what, 200 and
dude, it shot up.
$40
It shot up today. It's at 305 from the 14th to 13th. It's jumped 245 to back to 305. Yeah.
Right. So it'll be breaking its all-time high.
I would say hold your coin.
Yeah.
And then buy GBTC or
The answer is
Microstrategy.
invest more in something else.
Right.
I think both of them are going to be just fine. I mean, obviously
Coinbase has posted like more gains over each quarter, like, and it's just in the billions. So just the more people that engage with that, I mean, it's just gonna just give it time, and obviously dollar cost in. Don't just lump some in, buy little by little, and then you're good. If you bought in the 20s, you bought in the 30s, you bought in the 40s, you bought in the 50s. I made my first $60,000 purchase, but portfolio looking good.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Coinbase. I mean, they're kind of the dominant.
It's going to be
change.
Yeah, it's going to be like it's going to be the word for like you Google something,
right? Be like,
Coinbase something like that's going to be how.
Where can I buy it? Can I buy it on Coinbase? Right. They're just like the Band-Aid. They're like the brand that everybody's going to go to.
It's going to be like the quintessential word of crypto. Like they're going to be whatever crypto is going to be 10 years from now. It's going to be like, just go to Coinbase. And now, give me the, transfer my money to Coinbase. It's just going to be
right. Or someone's going to talk to you about it. Be like, oh yeah, have you seen NFTs on Coinbase? I started those, or I started buying it. You're like, oh wait, what? And people that have never talked about crypto before, like that was kind of like the Doge effect. Remember when people start calling you about cryptos and Doge and should I be buying this? You're like, people crawling out of.
So Amazon was what? Amazon was like $400 a couple years ago. Stock price value now. It's like $3,000.
Where's it going to go?
We're at the Coinbase Amazon.
Right, inception. Right.
For 4 years from now, it'd be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Just get what you can get and let it ride.
Well, and it even opened up at like $400 anyway, so we still got $100 to make back to like the original offer price.
I mean,
or like a couple handle.
Their revenue per year is like.
It's huge. It's out of this world.
Transactional fees.
Yeah, it's like $50 billion, or something crazy. And I'm like,
think of every transaction in crypto is happening for like $1.
Right, and they're charging you $1.99.
Not everyone, but I mean,
buy
a significant portion of the United States of America money transaction.
Coinbase Q4 revenue.
Just one more thing on the Dogecoin node. I'll probably post a little thing on it, at least how I was running the node. I'll post it on the channel after the show. It's like super easy. You download like one thing, open up it, let it sync, let it ride. We can see how many nodes we can get in our crypto channel.
I feel like they should pay you or something, some sort of incentive.
Okay, so Coinbase went from last year 186 million revenue to 2.2 billion.
Holy smokes!
In 1 year.
In 1 year, that's 1,000% year over year.
Right.
Wow.
So what is it going to look like next year when
Right. I mean, it's gonna be in the tens of billions.
Insane. It's insane.
So, yep.
And John, they don't pay you to run a node because, at least for Dogecoin, because it's just not in the tokenomics. But a lot of coins do, like that's
incentivized.
That's proof of stake. So you're running a node,
right?
But you're also staking inside of the node. So a lot of coins are that.
Right. Or you're a validator, right? So you have to own a certain amount.
You could be a Bitcoin node. You're not going to get paid to be a node, but you're participating in just the redundancy of the block. And
it comes down to security too, because then you can upload your transactions like almost instantaneously, like, and then I think you just get privacy.
If you're part of your node, you're communicating to the fastest point to get in line.
Right.
Like immediately, you're like, "There's I'm in," because some of the nodes, like, not that they pick which ones they want, but I think they can kind of like
they can
filter which ones have the fees, the transactional fees to broadcast the transaction.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Well, did we hit all-time highs yet, or still kind of floating there?
I don't think we did. I think it started going down.
All right.
We're back to 63.
What are some predictions for upcoming week? I
think at any moment this could just fly high, skyrocket. So I'm going to say by next show, Tuesday next week, we are at least going to taste 68,000.
Okay. All right. I can't give a number prediction, but I think it'll slowly go up. I think it'll try to pop off, but I think there's a lot of people selling off as well. You got a lot of people.
People are going to take profits.
Yeah, just people being cautious and all that.
Yeah, but the second it hits the all-time high, it's like the news media is going to start talking about it. I mean, like right now there hasn't been a whole bunch of like mainstream financial talk. I mean, maybe there has, but not like super all over Facebook.
Or we're looking for those like just next institutional buyer. Like, is there going to be another Tesla buy? Where it just goes from 39 to 45. Now we're at that 38 mark. Could we taste 70K? In the next week or two.
Yeah.
By hollow scream, maybe 70K. But
well, 1 week from now could be down. If it does retest somewhere, which I think at this point we're just so close to being high, I can't really see it going down. But I think worst case it bounces at 58. And then just never looks back, or I think it pops up above the thing, and we're off to the races up to 74. I think is like the next price target from a Fibonacci standpoint. So
75 sounds nice.
Yeah. What do you think about alts? What do you think is going to happen next week?
I think there's still like ETH. I think is going to kind of run with it as soon as like Bitcoin starts going. I think ETH's going to be the first one off, and the other ones are. It's almost like. I could see when Bitcoin was going up, like everything else was going red. So the dominance of Bitcoin, people are maybe moving some money over. Yeah. I think, like you said earlier, the altcoins are going to kind of run after Bitcoin has made its, galloping stride.
Went there, yeah.
ADA is going the wrong way. It's back to $2.
Yeah, but that's okay because if you look at it's like long term, it's been chilling. It's in this massive triangle.
Yeah, triangle. No, it is.
As long as it holds, as long as it holds right now, I'm tracking like it's basically at the bottom of its triangle. So if it needs to kind of like not go too much lower, but
I don't think it'll go much lower than 2. I mean, it's got a lot of support right here in this area, and it's it's coiling up, and then it's gonna. So it could just cup and handle, or head and shoulders.
That's my go to the bank coin right now. If I can get ADA to go to like $10, $15, I'll be happy. If it ever gets up to like 1,000, I'm
right.
Yep.
I'll be in a different house.
If ADA turns into the next ETH, then
that's so. Dogecoin. We need Dogecoin to go up for our miners. John, I'm sure you want Sheba. It hasn't really done much. It's kind of just chilling, like that.
Taking a break.
I haven't heard any new Sheba news, but it didn't lose the
what's-
gains it made. I mean, it kind of chilled. I mean, it lost a little bit, but it hasn't really regressed that much. So
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
kinda-
all the excitement
it's
is in
kinda
Bitcoin
floating.
right now. Yeah, yeah.
Have
It
you
was kinda
seen-
like that week when Sheba really blew up? Like everything else was in the red because all the money was flowing into Sheba. Like there's only so much money flowing in the market. So right now is
all the new money went to Sheba.
yeah, right. But right now I think all the spotlight is on Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin and kind of the major coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum. So I think.
I mean, here's the Sheba move where you're talking about, like early October. It was like,
Yeah.
whoop, and then it kind of just is fucking around, but it's not really. It didn't really lose much ground. So
Yeah, I mean, it's holding pretty steady, actually,
like,
surprisingly.
right, like it. I mean, it does pretty big moves every other day, but it's generally, if you look at it from this scale, it's kind of flat. So
if you look at it as like a frequency, it's kind of oscillating. It's like settling. That's exactly what it looks like.
right, it's a big
Till
it's a big
its next leg up.
symmetrical triangle until it's going to make a move. But again, I think they're all going to kind of run after. And
yeah, I think Bitcoin's going to have its show, and then after that, money's going to start flowing into these alts.
we'll see if Santa Claus comes to town. Historically, he does right around here.
Yeah.
The data. So
What do you think? You think Sheba might be a top 10 coin? I think it's a top 20 right now, right? Something like that.
I think Sheba is going to be a pump and dump coin for a little while.
Yeah.
I can't see it just going home.
I mean, there's no real technical or like use case for it, but I mean, aren't they making the you said the DEX, like the decentralized exchange?
Yeah, they're trying to get it some more function.
They're doing some like NFT stuff too, I hear. So, but I mean, I like Doge, and then they're claiming to be the Doge killer, and I'm mining Doge, so you best not be killing my mines.
Best not be killing. I'm running the node. I'm running the network
You
over
best
here.
not be killing my mines.
I think Mark Cuban said something about Doge today, like again, just reiterating that he thinks it's going to be,
right.
Not that I really care. Mark Cuban's like a hardcore vaccination guy, so not really a big fan of him anymore. But anyway, that's a different kind of podcast we got to run.
Yep. The other coins that we're seeing with major jumps related to Sheba were Baby Sheba. Have you seen that one, John? And then
there's all kinds of Sheba knockoffs.
Flokinomics. They were both up like
they're all Doge knockoffs. They're not Sheba knockoffs. Come on.
Yeah, well, and then Sheba Pup, Sheba Pup, Flokinomics, and Baby Sheba.
There's American Sheba also, and a bunch of other Sheba coins.
Yeah, there's Floki's his dog, right? Elon's dog.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't related though.
Right, but I mean that's the stuff that pumps Sheba is like just a tweet or like,
just being in the news, like people talking about it. People go on and they're like, "Oh shit, it's available." Once Robinhood releases it, I know it's going to run.
Coinbase, right? Yeah, Robinhood effect.
I definitely think it's going to go higher. There's no doubt about that. It's just how high.
Well, see, the thing is,
when
Doge
will it hold?
Right, Doge used to be Sheba, and then now Sheba is the new Doge. So I was skeptical of Doge, but then I accepted it in, and I was like, okay, Doge, you're part of the family. And I'm like, Shiba, what is this? I was like, I'm not gonna buy any of that crap. I mean, but it looks like the market is just like, come on in. Like,
what is value?
Wheeling and dealing. I mean, these guys, whoever's running it, so you don't know who the actual owner is. It's or who the founder is. It's like a secret person, right? But it's pretty likely he's someone pretty important, and you just don't know his identity, because every single move they make is a very progressive move. They're wheeling and dealing. They got on these big exchanges really, really fast.
Yeah, it seems like it. However they leverage themselves in, or is it just hype? So they see that and they're like, oh, we need that. Yeah, Coinbase is like, we need that because there's so much money, and everybody's like, oh, Shiba.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think the hype is part of it. They built it in. They probably have arrangements with different people writing articles and shit, and it's all just timed right.
Could be, the PR campaign, and then the word of mouth, and then, I mean, what Doge started out as it's meme and Comic Sans writing, right? That's what it was, and then they just were like, oh, let's it was like he made this thing off Litecoin, and then it was just there, and then it just existed and made it through all the ups and downs of the crypto market, and is still relevant.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, we are up against the hour here.
Oh yeah.
Please, if you haven't already, take some time, go on Facebook,
Smash
leave a
the like
comment,
button.
tell us your favorite altcoin, smash the like button,
What are you investing in?
hit subscribe, tell us some topics you might want to be in. We are looking
What
for
do you
a
want
guest.
us to talk to?
We are looking for a guest,
Speaker,
I guess a host, guest host, speaker, what do you want to call it, for one of these next shows. We got some people in mind, some of our active members on the forum or the group. But if you're interested and you want to, I mean, we don't know what we're talking about. We just want to get some people.
we're just
here
talking tokens in
with
the
us.
end.
So even if you want to just participate, be a new face, new perspective on crypto, like to hear your story, reach out, DM us or whatever you want to do. And we'll look for some new opportunities. Slide into the DM for show. But until then, we will put the kind of like promo stuff on the below the thing. So if you want BlockFi, you get some rewards. I get $30. You get $30.
Right. Coinbase.
What'd you say? Coinbase.
You want Swan?
Yes.
I mean, get hooked up. If you're buying $50 a day,
share the
I mean, a
love,
week.
click on the links.
Get some free BTC. Yep.
Do what you got to do to help out. We don't make money doing this. We're just fucking around. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the flip side. Till next time, roll it.
Here comes the money.
Here comes the money. Here comes the all-time high. That's what it should say. All right. Adios, everybody.